Welcome to Nopology, where saying no is our favorite superpower. Join us as we dive into the art of ditching the distractions, embracing your true self with no apologies needed. Whether it's relationships, responsibilities, or just that energy-sucking friend, we've got tips and laughs to help you reclaim your time and sparkle. Dust off that crown, girl. So, grab your favorite drink, kick back, and let's get unapologetically you.
Alrighty then. What are you even?
Welcome back, Nopologists. That's your name now.
Okay.
You're official Nopologist with us.
You're
from
an
Nopology.
apologist. You're an apologist.
This is Christy,
And Rania.
and we're here for episode 4 already. We're doing it.
Come on.
We're doing it up.
What?
Just talked about gratitude last episode, and know what I'm grateful for? Not having toxic people in my life anymore.
Ooh.
Boom.
Oh,
Anyone else? Oh, wait, you still have some toxic people? Oh, yeah.
yeah.
You're what's it called?
I'm employing the peace bubble.
Well, there's that too. I was gonna say, like, I don't know, shoveling the shit out, something. Decrapping. But I've been a stellar toxic person.
Decrapper.
Why can't I word today, y'all? Anyway, yeah, I've been really good at it. I'll just say that.
Garbologist.
A garbologist. So in today's episode, we are going to talk about 3 signs you have a toxic friend. You know what? Sometimes it hurts to hear. And then what do we do with that? Well, I guess touch on that a little bit too, right? Of like what we do once we realize we have toxic friends. But we'll talk about three kinds. I have number 2 up because I'm tired, but it's 3. Number 1, the overstepping octopus. So think of someone that you have to kind of walk on eggshells with, but they do not respect boundaries. And I've had a couple in my life of people, even boyfriends included. And you can also connect this to other relationships in your life, but we're talking about friends today. They do not respect your boundaries, and they cross lines you set. They will obsessively call you. Like if you say, I'm going to be XYZ, it doesn't matter. Like they always have to come first. And I know some people have anxiety, but you can feel a difference between anxiety and control, right? And that's something we should probably do an episode on as well.
Or even making excuses. I know, I just want to interject. I'm guilty of this. If I know that someone is going through a hard time. And I do think that, yes, there is room to extend grace when it's legitimate and when it's needed. But also figuring out a fine balance, because there's a thin line between extending grace when needed, but excuse making for bad behavior.
Yes. And I think a lot of us do it, especially if we love someone tremendously, if we have a big history with them, right? But a boundary is essential, multiple boundaries, right? In relationships. And that's okay. You have to give yourself permission and say, it's okay that I have healthy boundaries.
And if you don't respect your own boundary, who? Tell me who, name one person.
Nobody. Mr. Nobody.
Name one person who will.
Yes. So the people who ignore your boundaries are basically, they're about themselves. They're being very selfish, right? And we could go into narcissists and whatever. That's my whole other podcast.
Specialty.
But still, she thrives. If you know a narcissist and you're in a relationship with a friend that you might think that has a lot more information,
a lot,
but still she thrives. But I'm just throwing that out there because it is pertinent. But so we're not saying it has to be some crazy narcissist or this and that. But there are some people who aren't narcissists and they're just selfish, or they're not self-aware, and they will walk all over you, do what they want when they want, and that's not cool, right? Like, so obviously I think as we go down, maybe we'll just talk about like, so what do you do in that situation? For me, I would have a conversation with the person like, look, if I say I'm doing this and you call like 20 times, that disrupted my client call. Or I did have someone who would do that. And I'm like on a client call and it's going over and over. calling me 20 times when it's like nothing even urgent, you know? So having a conversation and then obviously evaluating what happens after the conversation. Because if they don't handle that conversation well and they flip the script or make you try to feel bad, that's not cool. And then that's, again, a whole other episode that goes a little deeper on what you do with these relationships.
Once manipulation starts to set in, that's like a whole other topic.
Yeah, we don't like that. So, but that's just what we're kind of touching mostly on the signs here. So the overstepping octopus, if you feel like this person is just all up in your business and you feel like you can't breathe and your boundaries are being stepped on, it's not cool, right? So if they can't handle a little nope, they do not deserve a front seat on your life.
Not everyone gets in that inner circle, by the way.
No.
Not everyone qualifies for the inner circle.
Hear it in the back? In the back?
Yeah, let's get that down.
Yes.
And just to zoom out a little bit, guys, like why are we focusing on this topic? Why is it beneficial to evaluate? I think just like with anything in life, you gotta zoom out, you gotta evaluate, you gotta figure out what's working well for me and what isn't. What are friendships meant to be? Friendships are meant to what? Uplift, right?
Yeah.
Not drag us down. I mean, we want to surround ourselves with people who celebrate our wins, who are for us, not frenemies that might, low key might be a little bit.
We don't need half-assed
jealous or against us, and if we're trying to figure out how to incorporate more self-care into our lives, this is a great place to take a look and figure out, like, where are the vampires? We don't want vampire-y crap around us, just
sucking the life.
We don't want life suckers.
No, no, ma'am.
Hang up the phone after a call and just have to literally declutter or go, just take 12 showers afterwards or naps because you just can't, because you're just so drained.
No.
Right. So that's, and I always like to talk about the why to the what. So, as obvious as that sounds, it's important to do this on an ongoing, regular basis, because
take out the papers in the trash because you don't need no toxic friends. Okay. Sorry, continue.
We had to. I mean,
we did.
There wasn't a choice.
Required.
So that's the why to the what, I would say.
Okay. So what is maybe a type of friend that you have encountered that seems toxic?
So, I often, I don't think it happens much anymore, but I will say in the past, I have a tendency to overgive. Okay. So
I could see that.
The law of reciprocity has become more and more of a prominent sort of, topic when I'm taking a look at, when I'm evaluating these friendships. And it's like, am I doing all of the heavy lifting here? Am I getting on the phone or in a text back and forth with someone and it's all about me, 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 which is them, and not a simple, how are you doing?
I've been there. That is it's mind blowing. I think to people like us, it's really
weird to us. But it's so much more common than you may think. And then a pitfall for me, again, is excuse making. It's like, oh, well, people are just, they're up their butts and they're not thinking, well, is that what a friend does or really is? Is that the standard of friendship?
That's not the friendship I want. And you have to decide for yourself. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you're real introvert and you don't want to talk about yourself. I don't know. But
maybe you have no interest in someone.
But I think everyone wants to be cared about, right?
I think that's just a standard, basic, foundational part of any friendship. So, yeah, I mean, I've been caught up in that where it's the focal point is all about them. And if you are an overgiver, if you tend to just give and not tune into your own needs, that's a cycle that you can get sucked into. So the law of reciprocity, and it's not about nickeling and diming, and it's not about giving to get. Right?
No.
It's not, it's never about that. We give, right? If you love someone, if you care about them, you're giving from a pure place of love and genuine care about this person, right?
Of course.
There's nothing else attached to it. But if that's all it is ever, take off your glass, just take a look at that and say, like, wait a minute, something is a little bit off here. Maybe I need to make a tweak, because there is such a thing as reciprocal friendships. And Christy,
yes. So
Christy, I'm still in the gratitudinal realm here.
Oh, we're on last episode.
And I know for a fact that it can be different and is very different in my friendship with Christy than I've had, and not just in friendships, I'm talking about relationships where it's like it's a habitual thing where the person is just so hyper focused on themselves. And you deserve more out of life, out of friendships, which can be a big part of our lives.
It's hard for me to even imagine being like that. I mean, I'm a talker, whatever, but I love to know about other people. I love to keep a pulse on people, and I care deeply. So it's very hard for me to understand how people are like that. What should we call it? Non-reciprocal rosies?
Head up the butts.
Yeah, the head up the butts. So I don't get it, but I can try to understand it, but those aren't my type of people. Yeah. So like, that's cool. You can be that. I'm not saying you're the worst person in the world, but you're not my type of friend, right?
Agreed.
And know what else isn't my type of friend?
What else?
The passive aggressive princess.
Oh.
No.
Uh-oh.
This has a few layers, but someone who gives the backhanded compliments, like, oh girl, I like, I don't want to say, maybe like, oh, you're brave to wear that, or like
earrings you're wearing.
Yeah, but you hear in their voice, and they're like, just tend to put you down, and there could be jealousy there. But I mean, I've definitely had some people like that in my life in the past, that they're just like in there, and they're trying to
underhand
put you down, but they'll do it in a way that's not as obvious as saying like, oh my God, this is awful, or you're this, or you're that. It's like this very kind of sneaky way to get jabs in or to knock you down, right?
Yeah. I call those frenemies.
I call them get the hell out of my face. That's what I call them.
That's a good name. That's a good label.
Yeah. But you have to remember, and you might have friends like this that do this. Most likely they are doing it because I noticed it when I started to get more confident in myself. Not cocky, okay? I'm not cocky. But as I grew in the last several years, the more I grew and felt more comfortable in my own skin and not as self-conscious,
apologetic about who you are.
Yeah, and even just self-conscious. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have to be a supermodel to whatever. Like, just more comfortable about every part of me.
Make it to your own.
There were friends that would do this sort of thing, and I noticed them, like, they didn't do it before. So some will start to do this when they feel uncomfortable with your comfort with yourself. Like, they're uncomfortable because they maybe don't feel that way about themselves, and they liked you where you were.
Yeah.
Misery loves company.
They wanted to commiserate, right? And some of these people, they get I guess threatened by your wins, because as you said, misery loves company.
Yep.
And then the jealousy, can get like, it can really creep in. I would say, like, the more you grow and the more you evolve and the more you shine, not everyone is for you.
Not everyone's going to come with you on that journey.
Yeah.
I will tell you that.
Not just anyone can hang with that.
Yeah.
Because as you're evolving and as you're changing and as you're growing, it also serves as a mirror for some people. It's like it becomes more blatant. It becomes like a shining light in their face that they can no longer ignore or run from. And instead of being happy for you, I'm going to get bitter.
Maybe they want to keep complaining. Maybe they want to stay stagnant where they are, right? Maybe they're not happy and they're stuck. And then watching you get unstuck will kind of trigger them.
Yeah.
Right?
Or like your own insecurities, like, okay, I want to lose 30 pounds, but I want to eat all the McDonald's cheeseburgers. But like, if you're losing weight, how do I clap for your win when I'm stuck in my own insecurity?
I know how, like this. Throw the fuck up. All right, sorry. No. So real friends, okay, they fix your crown with you, right? They straighten your crown. They lift you up. They don't throw shade on it.
I love that.
They don't make it dirty. They shine it. Right? shine each other's crown. And if you're one of these people, take a look at yourself today and be like, dang, Gina, look at me. I'm one of those. Okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're not perfect.
And there's no
Just
shame
do
here.
better.
It's all about like the mirror, the reason for the mirror. It's like we get better and better and better. It's like if I've got like crud all over my face, how do I know
Why you have
that?
crud on your face, girl?
Right? How do I know that unless I look in the mirror and then I remove the crud, right? And that's all it is. You don't have to carry this shame about anything. We all have like blind spots that we might not be aware of.
And here's something, okay? We all grow up in different households, learning different habits, learning how to treat people. I mean, a lot of personality traits, right, can be environmental, obviously.
Yeah.
So if you're a complainer, there could be some odds that one of your parents was a complainer. It's just like, or maybe you're a yeller, maybe one of your parents, like where you are in your environment can really form and model things. So that you can say like, it may not be your fault, but it is your responsibility to change it.
Thank you.
To heal it.
Say that. Say that some more. Say that again.
Let me repeat it. It may not be your fault. Any of your faults may not be your fault. Someone else might have caused pain to you that made you certain ways or feel jaded or feel dark and whatever. It is your responsibility, though, to do something about it and to heal it. Because we could all roll around in some of our shit, right?
You guys, I mean, I'm going to get real raw and real for a second.
Watch out.
I grew up in a really loud house. There was a lot of yelling. There was a lot of anger. And that became normalized for me at a very young age. And I thought it was normal. When you get upset, when you get angry, you can raise your voice at people because this is what I was surrounded by. So was that my fault? No. Well, what's my responsibility in all of this? Do I get to use that as a card, like a free pass to like, well, I'm mad right now, so I get to yell at you and raise my voice? Absolutely not. It's a deprogramming. The people in my life at a young age didn't know how to regulate their emotions. They didn't know how, but can I learn how? Hell yes, I can. Is it my responsibility to learn how? I'd better. If I want to grow, if I want to evolve, these are the things that are for me to figure out. And there's freedom on the other side of it, you guys. That's the good news. It's not just about being a good person. It's about living a life of freedom and joy and peace and emanating that into your friendships, into your relationships, into your parenting.
Do you want to like spew all your toxic stuff? And I know we're getting on the flip side of this, right? We're supposed to be talking about the people kind of that we're trying to avoid, but you might have some toxic traits that a lot of people tend to, right? Like, especially if you're on this journey, you are setting boundaries for yourself, doing all that, but you might have some codependency or some anger issues, right?
Yeah.
So what do we do about it? We change it. And I think absolutely you look at, well, this is what I don't like when people use their past as an excuse. That's something that is a trigger for me.
Yeah.
Because let's say you're in the same family. I'll say, I know people in the same family where they're siblings. One sibling uses their past as an excuse for just being a jackass.
Yeah.
The other used it as a catapult to heal and do better and be better and stop that cycle and be a better role model for their children, right? So which path do we want to take?
It's a choice. It is a choice. And one requires honesty and integrity and strength. And the other may seem like the easy way out, but in the end, are you winning?
Are you winning? Right.
Are you winning
That's
game?
what I think people don't get. How I get it that it takes work to heal, but the prize is the healing, right?
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you the fear of what my life would have been if I did not do all the things I've done. Therapy, just self-help. I mean, I've been reading self-help books since I'm 14. I'm not kidding y'all. But therapy, all of that. And now this somatic healing I'm doing is absolutely life-changing. I'm a facilitator. If this is your first show you're listening, somatic healing is truly healing from the inside and really, truly on a deep, deep level, being able to rewrite this stuff, right?
It's a deprogramming.
But you have to want to do it. So if you want assistance with that, and it can go alongside therapy, instead of therapy, like whatever, I will always put that in the description if you want to sign up for a session. But look at where you are and think about what it would be. Sometimes it's hard, I think, for people to even be able to visualize like what it would feel like to have such peace and joy. I'm here to tell you, like, fight through and put the effort in to find out. It's worth it.
When you've been living a certain way for so long, it becomes habit. And you almost, as Christy said, you almost can't imagine a different way. But I think there's like an ongoing theme that presses on my heart that I want to bring to each one of these chats that we have with you guys, to say, like, you deserve better. Maybe you deserve better in your friendships. Maybe you deserve to figure out how to regulate your own emotions to feel better. Whatever the case may be. And there's a switch that should flip, because when you've been walking around in agony, or it's like we become desensitized to pain. It's like sometimes if you're sick for a long time, you have got like a long-term cold you've had for 2 weeks, and you don't realize how bad you feel until you feel better. But you deserve.
I like that. Let's swallow that up. I like that analogy.
Yeah. Sometimes you just don't realize how bad it is until you
feel better,
some relief.
And I know you don't know that feeling, or maybe you had it before a certain trauma happened, right? But some people never have felt. I never felt the peace and joy I feel now. I never got that opportunity, and I'm like, I just want everyone to feel like this. And I want my daughter to feel like this. So we kind of got, a little off topic, but I think it's important. And I always feel like we get called to talk about whatever for a reason. So someone out there, I guess, had to hear that.
Yeah. So, I mean, as a recap, this is a charge and a challenge and an encouragement to each one of us to prioritize friendships that bring joy, that allow you to grow. You're celebrating each other's wins, right? I watch her move from one level of glory to another. I've been watching this for years, and I've just been like standing and in awe. And it has actually inspired me to start my own growth journey. It's like, okay, yeah, I could go sit in the corner and just clap for somebody, or I could get on board and find. It took a long time, many, many years. I know I look 20 something, but it's taken so many years for me to finally get it that I actually am deserving of the best life possible.
And gotta believe that to be able to heal. So that's a first step.
I mean, yeah. And so like, let's overstep that octopus. Let's make sure, like,
please,
these people who don't respect your boundaries. Okay, well, not everyone gets a front seat to your show. Not everyone.
Pull back in the friendship. Especially if you have a talk and things go the other way and they turn around and change and respect your boundaries, great. If they don't, though, yeah, maybe it's time to scooch back. I mean, I'm like cutthroat this shit. I protect my peace like exponentially.
That peace bubble.
So I'm very much like, I don't have any time for that. I'm old. I got a lot going on. I don't have time for the naysayers in my life. But if you're just starting out in your journey, maybe it's easier to just spend less and less time with that person, right?
Yeah. And then, the simple law of reciprocity, if you know that like you are giving and giving and it's an over giving and over functioning and someone's under functioning.
Yeah, give less. Pull back on what you're giving.
Yeah. And it's not a tit for tat. It's not a punitive, it's not a punitive move. It's just seeing what is for what it is, and then refocusing your energies in the relationships and in the friendships that are worth your time, because your time, your energy
is valuable.
Thank you. And
preach.
And then, figure out like who's really for you, and take a look at like who stands up and cheers for you when you win. And
focus on them. I just had this conversation with my daughter a couple weeks ago. Her old BFF, no names mentioned, no, just has changed this year and isn't being super nice. And I was like, who's nice? And she said, well, actually, this girl did XYZ. And she even said, oh, play with me then. And I said, who's that girl? Spend time with her. Focus on her. Those are the people, right? Find the people that lift you up.
Yeah. And once we figure this out, I mean, you're literally creating a legacy with all of this.
Oh, dang.
So that Cora going out into the world, she's got this stuff figured out. She's got her radar up, that friendship antenna. She's figuring this out in childhood. And then that is setting the standard, the bar, right? For her to go out into the world with the right mindset. And
do this for you, do it for your kids, do it like Rania said. She's been inspired by watching me, which is very sweet, very humbling, very humbled. But do it to also be an inspiration and have that domino effect, right?
It's definitely contagious.
And I'm not just saying like doing your own self journey as far as like when we kind of flipped it to you being toxic, but also you setting boundaries, you doing all of this. It's so important, and your kids are watching, your friends are watching.
And some of this stuff, you guys, is easier said than done. It can be tempting to say, oh, but we've been friends for years and this is my best friend. Well, maybe it's time to just take an honest look.
Are they your best friend?
Do
they have your best intentions?
Yeah, by what definition?
Boom.
Okay.
Drop down mark. Drop it. Drop it like a thought. Guys, you know what you can do? I think this is so cool. I think this is so cool. What? You can text us. You can text us through the podcast.
Oh my gosh.
So if you go, don't go, please don't go. I'm needy. No, if you look at our podcast page, I don't know if I think it's everywhere, but on Apple, I know right like under where the title and stuff is, there's a little thing and you can click on it. It says text your besties. That's us. And you can click on it and leave us messages so we can see your messages on there. So fun. Also, please don't forget to leave a 5-star rating on Apple. You just go to our main page and then scroll down and there's like an outline of 5 stars. You click that 5th one and it'll like highlight all of them because you love us so much.
Do it.
If you do. If you don't like us, do it anyway because you look good. I'm going to compliment you till you do. And you can also leave us like a review and tell us what you like about the podcast. We need that.
We want your feedback.
We got to keep us going and keep us motivated.
We want to hear all about it. And text your mobile besties. If this episode rings true for you, if something resonated and you might be struggling and be like, I don't even know where to start. Like you know who we're talking about this whole time.
Yes.
You've had 1 or 2 people pop up in your brain and you just need some help and support. Please.
Text us.
Bring it.
Even write on our Facebook page. If you are not a part of our Facebook page, you need to go join that. And that is always in the description. Everything you need to know about my services as a somatic healer and life coach are on there. The Facebook page, it's a simple click and you join. Anything we mention, any resources, any other episodes we might talk about, we will link in the description of the actual podcast episode.
And do we have a weekly challenge? I think it's just, maybe.
Let's see. Oh, well, I don't know. With a friendie?
Yeah.
With a friendie, like let's do a little survey of our friends.
Yeah. Let's all take a look.
And maybe if there is a deficit, if you're doing great, more power to you.
Tell
Bless
us.
you.
Tell us.
Celebrate that you are a good friend picker. But if there's even one person, maybe have the hard conversation, or if you don't even want to do that and you just want to step back, you've known for years or you've had conversations and they don't respect you, step back.
Yeah. Sometimes that's a boundary in and of itself, is you make just a subtle move that you know is going to serve your well-being. That's also a boundary. It doesn't have to be some even dramatic, even if it's not like, sometimes it warrants a conversation. Other times it just takes something really simple. And you know who I think about when I think about non-toxic friendships and who I'm always so grateful to?
Cheap? Are we going to thank him?
I think we should.
Okay. Thanks, Cheap. Thank you so much, Chief, for bringing us together. And we are so grateful for our friendship. We are grateful for you guys.
Yes.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you guys.
This is so fun for us and filling and
fulfilling.
All the fulls.
Yes,
and
all the fills.
I feel like apple pie filling. Who is ready for
apple
that?
Pie?
Let's see. This is going to air
Why
in a
did she
couple
say
weeks.
apple pie?
So this might be right before Thanksgiving. So
Oh.
happy Thanksgiving to all the Americans. If you celebrate, I'm thinking about apple pie filling.
Oof, I want some.
What's your favorite? Text us what your favorite
pie.
No, your favorite thanks. Well, pie,
Oh,
yes.
my
Or
favorite.
just your favorite part of things, which part, is it the mashed potatoes, the stuffing, a turkey,
is it the side?
cranberries?
Is it the main dish? What?
Maybe y'all have meatloaf, you do, you boo boo, but what's your favorite part of your specific Thanksgiving
All
meal?
of the above.
I'm trying to think. Mine is mashed potatoes or stuffing. I'm going to say, I'm potato
You're
free.
making me hungry.
I know. Now I want to go get some Thanksgiving. We're going to go because we're going to go eat some turkey.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all. We're so glad you're here with us.
So glad. And we will see you in the next episode.
The next one.
All right. Keep those toxic bees away.
No apology out.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget, if you are looking for a little healing in your life, Christy, that's me, does somatic healing sessions, which are epic. They are over Zoom. You can live anywhere in the world and do them. So I will always have my link in the description box to sign up for a session. And anything we mention, any resources we mention, all of the fun will always be in the description box of wherever you are listening to your podcast platform. We are so grateful for your support. And if you can put a 5-star review, if you are liking what you hear, we would be forever grateful. And that can be done on Apple. You just scroll all the way to the bottom of our main page of the show and click the 5 stars. You can write a little comment if you choose, and we will be so, so grateful. We'll give you the biggest air hugs ever. And if we see you in person, it'll be a tighter squeeze. You'll feel that one. All right. Hope you guys are having the best day. Don't forget, you're a damn queen and king, and keep that chin up.